This man saying something like he's a staple here sounds really silly because that just means you just show up a lot. What does that mean, right? You know, I mean, what? I show up here a lot. Am I a staple? I mean, what does that mean?
You're regular.
No. I'm a regular. You guys should stop because I should be actually coming up with something good because this man, I've heard his words, and I don't know how many books he's done. I know he has done work at least. And they had cool covers. And I believe at one point he had lists of the covers up when he was performing in Chicago Calling here. And that was awesome because this man has been around, and I don't mean that sexually. This man is, I'm sorry, so goofy. Oh my God, we're all doing that today. I don't just mean he's an awesome guy. He has done a lot of work with a lot of people. He's had a lot of material over years, and it's all been phenomenal. And this man has a soothing voice, and he's done work with other people, and that's always cool when you see how people intertwine their styles and stuff, which is, it's just, why, you know, you can't pinpoint anything, because he's just awesome, groovy, cool, and that's why there's so many people here for him tonight. And the groovier thing is that he's going to have even more people checking out the podcast because you can get that crap any old time. So please, I'm going to stop babbling because I just sound like a silly girl because he's worth so much more than that. Please give it up for Mr. Tom Roby!
Yes, pilot. Oh, give me some blacktop. Let me roll free from Mom's dirty dishes and gravity. I've oiled all 4 axles and clamped on the vise, settled my heels, strapped them precise, because I've got the key and the wheels and the blast, and I'm gonna break the sound barrier at last. Sugasoom, sugasoom, oh what a sound. 4 wheels go up, 4 others go down as I circle the runway to get off the ground. Sugasing, sing, sing quicker. They're making one sound quicker and slicker till I roll on no sound. Up the last hill, watch out real sharp for a sprawl or a spill. In front of the bus, right under a truck, to heck with the fuss, the honk and shook fist. They'll learn who I am when I'm found on the list. I won't even cuss at a bleeding skin knee as I coast on home for my whole gang to see, plus a Band-Aid and Coke, 'cause even my mom can hardly complain when I toss her the bomb and tell her she's raised one of the greats, the first man to break the sound barrier on skates. Thank you very much. Thank you all for coming out here, and thank you, Janet, for that effusive introduction. I thought I'd try to do something special, and it's hard to do that when you've been around as long as I have. But I hit on kid poems. I've done a lot of kid poems, and so that's the first one. And I just went through my 3 books with their wonderful covers, and I have a whole warehouse full of them. If anyone, if anyone is interested in that. Okay, so this is the. You know, this goes back to War II. I know that dates me, but the roads were all potholes by the end of the war, and then they put on blacktop, and then you could just really go. And these were not, you know, sissy inline skates. These are roller skates. This is a real thing. So that was a true story. The next one is a little grimmer, and this is Dream Spinner. Stroll, small boy, the taboo path to the river. A stolen orchard peach a tingle on your tongue. Find the world rinse with dew in the translucent morn. Enter, learner, the dark hollow streaked by seeping light that discloses rainbows in dewdrop beads hanging on the grand spiral web that gates your jaunt to the way out. Doze, golden garden spider, pendant on your radial obstacle, be whiskered and wise as an Egyptian cat in the tranquil nave of the twilight. Dart away, sage dragonflies, monitor echoes of the mockingbird, note inside each bauble a mausoleum for mosquitoes. Fancy lad to fish with her net, your spider on your shoulder, ready to repair any rent. Stretch youth that taunt time to pluck the thread, break it, watch the web shrink to a limp drape. Streak pest to his wrist, bite his forearm, elbow, neck. Quick, child, whisk the monster off. Flee her spiral away on her cord. Stagger through sticky cordons of spider babes on dark sides of the path. Race your breath to an empty house. Dread and crave that moment before you struggle with the spider. Thank you. And here's another poem, family poem. I had two fathers. I had a father and a stepfather. The first poem is about my first father, and the second one is about the stepfather. Peacetime casualty. My first father's life was all preparations for the well-timed world war that he failed to fight. Why did he leave me without decorations? He punched out his playmates, made reputations with touchdown heroics, the cheerleaders' night, joined after-school clubs for more preparations, Boy Scouts and Sea Scouts, his justifications for a midshipman ensign, a future so bright, left me diplomas for wall decorations, then made out quite well at cohabitations, chance father by day, in the night Sybarite, his proud blues parading great preparations, a drunken car wreck that stopped assignations, his martinet father left on the drill site, a closed coffin funeral, no decorations. Death in the war would have left compensations of medal citations, a hero upright, full realizations of armed preparations. Why did he leave me with no decorations? But of course, since I didn't have a war hero, I had to invent one. When I was a kid, I Tommy gunned the nips skulking in pillboxes from Guadalcanal to Okinawa, and added a Purple Heart to my medals for scraping my knee on a concrete driveway. I was all against dropping the A-bomb. I wanted to take the home islands house by house. My gang helped too, but we had to make up the Japs. Who wants to be them? No one wants to be them. Now, sometimes I dream. I am a Japanese pilot. Mission accomplished with Midway Island and the Yorktown in flames. Come back to find my home carrier, hear you, the Flying Dragon, unshielded, sunk by Yankee dive bombers. I snort, search for radio contact, sweat, deny, until sputtering out of gas, I take the final descent the long glide into the sea. War hero. Okay, but when you're a kid, you really have to build things. And after the war, there was a building boom, 1946. Our club sneaks out on warm school nights, creeps through the spring weeds of the corner haunted house, meets to break a window or two, rip off peeling wallpaper and scrawl our names on bare walls. The Shadow, The Heap, Captain Midnight. The construction site is even better, like living inside a huge erector set. Tab A slides into slot B. Sashes, snug window frames, pipes thrust through floorboards. After school, we watched the Sandman swing his shovel like a pendulum that scoops mortar from his mixer to the bricklayer's trays. Trowel, scrape, and dish. Flip a lip on each edge. Set one brick on the other and tap them with the handle for alignment and good luck. At quitting time, we saunter around the block, come right back for building tag, hide and seek in each new room, and whatever we can make with fresh sand, signing our names. Tonto, Speedy, Boy Wonder. We learn the ribs of this house, its guts. We become its brains, its spirit. On a dare, Blue Notes lays a line of bricks, then tells some nosy cop in a deep voice from behind the wall, "It's okay, officer, I'm showing the kids how it's done." Inverted vandals, we fix things up for the workmen, smirk at their puzzled looks. No broken glass around our house. We meet in every room from basement to attic, carving our names on the top beams. Blackhawks, the Daily Planet, Justice League of America. Then they latch the last window, lock the back door. Dispossessed, we spook around corners with the fall leaves, come back to peer at the fireplace where we had warmed ourselves like craftsmen, remembering the Sandman's swinging arms. Building boom. Then we get to the second dad. Practicing. 1. My dad developed me. We fooled around with the pigskin every weekend. I never knew why he threw passes for hours like Johnny Unitas. Slant out 5, cut right 3, fly 12 down, drift back. The ball was always there on one side or the other, too high or too low. He never said where. So when I caught the shoestring spiral that won the game, I did it on my own. We talked once about how much I had practiced. Remember how I developed you? Oh? When was that? 2. Now I'm Dad, tossing and catching to teach you how to fake left, dodge right, take my over-the-shoulder pass, and thread down the sideline for your touchdown. I watch the games as you develop you, turning my single fake into your own triple dodge that leaves the defenders in their socks as they expect the unexpected. You work it inside you. A sudden veer felt at the last moment. I never say, I developed you, exposing my yearning for recognition, but hope somewhere you might remember when you got your start in the tradition, as if I were Johnny Unitas, keeping my mouth shut about it. And of course there is always the mom. Cowboy. My mom was no cowgirl. She would have tumbled off her high heels and died in the dust of the Old West. I knew how hard it was from breaking in my cowboy boots when I was 8. I had to work to wear down the outside heels and perfect the bow-legged strut that said, I have just tamed the one mean Mustang to save Ma from rapacious Apaches. I couldn't believe the ingrate when Herb Beef sent me to the last roundup. You're rowing your legs as well as your shoes. Besides, it doesn't look nice. She turned on her stiletto heels and wobbled out the door to meet her date. That killed my taming the frontier. Without the boots, my 6-gun and sombrero were useless. For the next few years, I played mortar wars on construction sites in tennis shoes. I dodged ricochet puffs like bullets. I threw back hard. You could count the hits because it stung and they cried. Once, in a scientific mood, I pointed out her bandy legs were ruined too. Pleasure bent was her retort. Pleasure bent. So we are now moving into family legends. This is all out of Shapeshifter.
And who published that book?
That book was published by Pudd'nhead Press.
Pudd'nhead Press!
David Getchick. Thank you, Dave. He had a pressing engagement with a chemistry lab. Yes. Okay. So we are.
Are you trying to say he had some meth to make?
No. Dave is on the home brew, the bathtub gin. Don't tell him I said so. Family legend says Uncle Charlie rode his way up from cabin boy to captain of industry with a windjammer, a guffaw, and never lost the mile race in a 2-man scull. His world record will stay unbroken now that they no longer veer around a half-mile buoy but compete on a straight course. On Sunday afternoons, I brought extra cactus needles to play his classical platters. Fingal's Cave Overture, The Sea and Sinbad's Ship, The Flying Dutchman. It made me feel I too could set sail, become a man of the world, hold my bourbon like Uncle Charlie. Once while stacking the 78s on the spindle, I asked him, what do you think life's all about? He just chortled, but I let the next disc drop. How about the music? Maybe it's there? Oh, that's your Aunt Lillian's. I never touched the stuff. It made me sick, but I had to put the records away. Be polite at their Sunday dinner. Family legend. Yeah, that is what happens when your heroes don't hold up. So, okay, so I have a few more minutes here to finish up, and I've run out of kid poems, so I'll have to grow up and read a few love poems. And I will try to be positive here. Here is a pleasant rondeau. My pleasure is to pleasure you. so I can feel you through and through, since this is surely one good measure of what it is in you I treasure, which makes me take off every glove to touch your moistened silken love, cocked below and tongued above, sliding every port at leisure. My pleasure is to guide your pleasure. But since I cannot tunnel through, you'll never find me through with you. When love is very hard to capture, morphine into torture, failure, do for me what I do for you. My pleasure is to pleasure you. A pleasant rondo. And of course that has a downside. This is a shadow dome. Do come to my underground garden, its blue shades that hug knowing moles. Leave behind great garden spiders, mummified bees. Ride saddled slugs to delight our cortege that crawls and slithers on its millipede fur. Slide into milk-warm cavern pools. Sink with me, alien to whales of strange trysts in that bright domain of the dying. Come, most beloved, come! No need of eyes or arms, now we are consecrated as one. Garlands crown us king, queen, in our dark rest from lust. Okay, so I'm going to just see if I can pick out a random one here. Oh, here we are. This is one of the, I'll read this one and then I'll read the final one. You've been a great audience. One of the great words in the English language is slag. Let's hear you say it. Slag. Come on, I can't hear you. Slag. Oh yeah, that's a wonderful word. That's what happens to the dross of the when they make the steel. And this is from the far south side of Chicago. From Slag Town Steel Works rail yard trestle, we tip big buckets into Slag Valley, let dross steam, meld cinder hills, while gravel graders wait to pave our driveways. Our kids sneak out onto Slag Field in acrid evening air, snap their fingers at cherry bomb fireworks, smirk at dumb gravel graders. Who'll win after school races sledding down Slag Hill cinders? Who's unlucky enough to bust through the crust? Don't lose your shoe or mama's going to whip you because you can't trust the too thin crust. No one plays informer. No one dares to tear us to poke our molten roots. We don't forget the night John Dillinger made his getaway, rolling down Slag Hill, tossing silver dollars onto moonlit porches, cops in hot pursuits, cursing gravel graders we shoved in their faces. Chop your cat's eye marble out of cold Slag Ridge. Smooth that lucky shooter, aim it to win, take the stress, gravel graders get the rest. Hang hard, keep cool, never make excuse. We'll pave the way to Slag Heaven when the gravel graders come for us. Slag. Thank you, and of course, we always have to end on a note here of some kind, and then this is.
I end on a note of some kind.
Yeah, right. And this is in perhaps a major minor mode. It's from Capo di Ponte, which is a village up in the Italian Alps, and it has two parts. One, a rainy Italian graveyard, bright with flowers, where steeple birds trade tunes with Angelus bells, and we climb dry steps under the Bona chapel portico to view their formal portraits in the vestibule. 2. After we lunch on cheese and red wine, I watch my smile fade in the cafe glass because I hate to leave any place until you remind me that we will have a time when we won't have to leave.
Aww.
And I will be around for more anytime Janet will have me in your joy.
And, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I don't think it was loud enough. Give it up one more time for John Roby!
Yes,
Awesome. I don't want to stop. Thank you very much. It was very double plus cool. And because I have to, because I started mentioning it before, and this is what I do at the end of the open mics, I might as well talk about upcoming features, because in just 2 weeks from now, on March 26th, we have Janine Ravaslut. I'll give it up for Janine. I think the last time she had a feature, I made an extreme sestina variation of a poem for him, and I might try to do it again. Just popped in my head, I might try to do it again. We'll see. But it's not about me. That's about her. It's all. This is what's compelling me to do that for her. So keep that in mind. Everybody should do an extreme sestina variation of a poem, and everybody has to read a poem very rhythmically. But it's awesome. It's awesome. It's not. That's not an insult. I swear. I hope you don't think it is, because it's just a very rhythmical thing. No, but it's good. I like it, and that's why I don't like that. Therefore, I'm going to try to talk about it, not emulate it. But shut up. And then 2 weeks from that would be 4 weeks from now, April 9th, we've got Sid Yiddish. This is going to be an awesome show. I'm not sure what's going to be going on. If there's going to be a dance band, or if he's going to have one of the local bands around, but it should be really cool. 2 weeks after that, in the end of April, we've got a Roky Rice. And in the beginning of May, well, normally that would have been Robin Fine on May 7th, my wedding anniversary, but it's going to be a double feature. You're going to have 2 features that night, because we're going to have Oz Hardwick from Leeds. He's actually going to be coming across the pond, and he's going to be doing a feature as well, which is really cool.
It's
and
very ducky. It really is ducky.
It is ducky, is it not? It is. It's just ducky. Oh, that sounds so bad. All right, I'm going to shut up. Because, anyway, no, I'm just thinking that made me think of Ducky from 16 Candles, or whatever, the BS Candles, or whatever, with Molly Ringwald or whatever, which is not anything that is related to being British at all, which is terrible of me. So I'm going to stop, because it's not like I've been drinking that much. What is my problem? And if anybody doesn't know anything about the schedule, which is filled, and I'm hoping that people that are awesome like Bill Yara could double feature with somebody later on, because it's already filled up for the year. But if you want to know anything about the schedule, I need to catch a breath. Go to www.chaoticarts.org/thecafe. You can find details. Also, we've got podcasts that come out on iTunes, or if you want to download them anytime, they're always available. And thank you all so very much, and I hope to see you in 2 weeks for Janine Ravaslut. Thank you.